But so I'm like, man, I fell back, and actually before that, I had went and recorded like 2 songs. My very first song was "The Grave Digger" back in 1990. Man, 90, that was 91.
Hey, it's
And
so
that was
wild. It's so wild hearing your first song is the Grave Digger. Cause like think about where you
right,
at right
right, right,
now.
right, exactly, man. The art, and then I had artwork and everything. My brother, he drew it, and I went to school and had it printed out on things, man. Cut it out, put it inside of the cassette tapes and
Oh,
everything,
that's
all that
dope.
back then. So you know, we had that, man. My actual man is actually, it seems like I was one of the only ones that actually, I mean, now from the start, now we had, you know what I mean, a guy named, Pearl Pimp, you know what I mean, which they called him Pearl, you know what I mean, and he actually started like paving the way, you know what I mean, in the rap scene. He was really doing it big, you know what I mean? And almost he actually almost had a deal with Face now, you know what I mean? Ghetto Boys, when they came down to Elkhart and performed at the Elko. So it was him, then my guys, Soul and Strick, they was a little older than us. And
How
so
old were
they
you?
would do the big battle. Who? Me?
How old was you at that moment in time when all this was going on?
At this time, um, it was like, let me see, because we were young. I was about
Was this?
14, 15.
Oh, yeah, you were
It was about
young
14.
still. Okay.
Yeah, yep, yeah. And so, because I recorded my first single at 13 when I recorded
Mhm.
The Gravedigger,
Grave
and
Digger, right?
that was another level back then. You know what I mean? It was like, man, road, man, woo, woo, everybody running around there, bumping the Gravedigger. Then I had the actual the second one that was with Sean Pratcher, my
Mhm.
guy, you know what I mean, that he produced, which was called "You Live by the Glock, You Die by the Glock," and that was the first one that I actually performed at the place that we call we had like a little club type deal, but it was oh man, forget. Mm.
It's like a community house or a community center or something like that.
It's like a little center type deal though, but it was something that he had rented, and the post, that's what they called it back then,
Mhm.
the post. And he had put together, it was a talent show, right?
Right.
And you go in there, you got first place or whatever, third, second, and all that. And so, but I actually just went in, and he actually just did it really to put everybody that he produced and own, and give them the opportunity to perform and get out there, man. And so, I mean, that was my first performance, actually performing, and doing that. That 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 gave, what I mean, birth to J Roll. Well, actually, I was double deuce back then.
Oh, okay.
I'm, I was, I was double deuce back then, right? And so my my mama, well, she actually my cousin, but she was my mama figure, man. She because she called me double deuce, that's all I drunk back then, double deuces. And so and doing that, uh from there, you know what I mean, I when I went to school, I was going to school to my rest in peace, my guy named Raji. Raji, we was at school, right? We was at high school during this time. I was like mm, about 16 or so, 17, somewhere
Right.
around there, you know what I mean? And at this time, I was really into the drug game. I was heavy, and I had caught
So,
my first
so that was
case
you were
already.
18 at that moment in time.
No, I was 16, 17 then.
16,
But
17.
so while yeah, and at school, right? At school, you know what I mean, you running there carrying guns and everything in school and everything. So we would go, but back then we had open lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would we would go to school, wait till lunch, and then they would uh at lunchtime we would all cut out. You know what I mean? Just there, right? Make sure that all our work was done and just roll out. And so he was like, man, hey, he was we was in class, right? And I was throwing him my new song that I had just put together. I was like, man, he was making a beat. It was like, ooh, ooh. He was like, hey man, I'm gonna call you J Ro. He was like, that's gonna be your name right there for me, right? He's like, it's from Alcoholics. You remember Duece? I was like, yeah, that fit though. Okay, I like that. And from there on, I mean, and still, he was like, J Ro. Well, look, he was so smooth, right? He had creases in the pants, creases all on everything. He was one of the guys that liked to dress. He was suave, right? So
Right,
I was
right.
like, okay, bet. And so from that point, that's where J. Rowe came in, and you know, from there, you know, I just uh continued on. You know what I mean? I didn't slow down like AK uh warned me to, pretty much. You know, heated me. He was trying to get me to, you know, detach myself from that lifestyle and take games more serious. That was in the back. That was back burner. That was like hobby. You know what I mean? You feel me? The rap game back then was like a hobby. And so I was like, before, you know, I end up writing my little brother a verse. And so we gotta listen, we got a song, our very first song together. It's called The Demons in Me, right?
Mm,
Man, it's so crazy because um you know, we sat around kicking it, you know, doing what we do, you know,
right,
just
right,
getting it
right.
around. And I bought him his very first keyboard, right? So he
Mhm.
made the beat. Boom, 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 you know? And so we take it to AK, and AK like, okay. AK, he remixed it. Boom. He was like, this is what I got. I'm like, whoo, that monkey see, let's go. He goes, like, go on in the booth. Y'all go here record. And so I got him in there. By this time, I'm like, let me see, I'm about seven. No. About 16.
16.
About 16, and he was 12, my little brother. 12. So you know, once he get in the booth, you know, record that, um, then uh that gold, man. That I mean, that was man running around there, man, like hotcakes, man. And so that gave my little brother something to be able to perform. You know what I mean? When we did shows, whenever they did shows, we got some material. You feel me?
Right.
You able to go up there and boom, boom, rock the mic, and you be able to show them what you got. And so uh, with that, I ended up in 19 like around 1996. Um, I started from 92, 93, 94. Now, 94 was a pivotal part of my life because my aunt that I was staying with passed away. And
Mm,
so, like in the 10th grade, so to speak, somewhere around there. And I was that right there, it was like boom, you know what I mean? Mom gone, you know what I mean? So now my aunt, the only one. I mean, I my granny, you know what I mean, was where I was. Oh, that was always the foundation. But at the same time, you know what I mean, for my stability, you know, that was it. You know what I mean? My aunt. So when she passed, you know, in '94, that's just where I just went head in the game, and I just started, you know, doing just hustling real heavy. By '96, '96, I had caught my second. dope case.
Mm.
Before I caught the second dope case, I had plugged with some guys, right? My guy named H, called him Homicide, and my guy named Little Scar, Fred. And he had came home and let me rewind back. The very first individual that I actually rapped with was a guy named Mike Taylor, right?
Right.
So we you know our styles were similar, you know what I mean? And he was so his mind was so I always told him, I was like, man, you should you better be taking this game, you know what I mean, more serious, right? It was actually our style, me and his style was more like, are you familiar with the group South Circle?
South Circle.
From Suave House back in the day.
It's
They from Houston.
okay. Now I know Swab House, but South Circle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily know just off
Mr.
top.
Mike, Mr. Mike and Thorough.
I know those
They,
names, but I
yeah,
never, you know what I'm saying?
you got to go back, hey, because Mr.
I'm gonna
Mike,
have to
boy,
go.
he got some of the class.
Okay, I know you guys are enjoying the episode, but I gotta let you know that this part of the video is sponsored by Who Knew. Who Knew is a brand building ecosystem that's literally strategically built for you to be able to create the brand that you can only imagine. You can build your dream website. You can get business credit and unsecured business funding. You can be able to get managed by us. And not only that, we actually have a tool called Mercabus that we created to be able to give you the power to rank on Google, YouTube, or any other platform almost instantly. You can be able to keep up with the episodes. You can be able to get hosting. You can be able to get any plugin and thing that you need to be able to build the type of brand that you can envision. Trust me when I tell you, Who Knew changed my life, and then Who Knew have changed so many different people. That's why we have a plethora of entrepreneurs that have already taken their business from $0 to 6 and 7 figures. Literally, it's pointless for me to have this conversation with you to try to convince you of something that you already need. It doesn't matter what part of the journey that you're on, from the beginning to the point of your building and wanting to go farther to take your brand to the next level, or if you just trying to scale and you already at the top and you already reached that plethora. Who Knew have every single thing for you. Now, you're gonna get back into the episode.